Welcome back. Now, was there an international plan or a conspiracy hatched from India to assassinate Khalistani terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannun in New York? Well, this is the United States which is now accusing an Indian official of planning and directing the alleged plot to assassinate Pannun in US. The US Department of Justice has now filed an indictment in a federal court in Manhattan, which details the alleged plot, claiming a $100,000 deal that was sealed to kill Pannun, but the execution plot was disrupted by US even before it could be executed. Now, meanwhile, the reactions that have been coming in, let's explain exactly when it comes to the United States believing that this was an alleged plot. Now, according to the indictment report, the plot that was hatched by an Indian government employee referred to as CC1 in the report. The report says, and I quote, CC1 has described being employed by the Indian government as a senior field officer who has previously served in India's Central Reserve Police Force and receiving officer training in battlecraft and weapons, unquote. In or about May 2023, CC1 recruited an Indian national, Nikhil Gupta. Now, the document mentions that during the course of the dealings, it was mentioned that this individual, Nikhil Gupta, had a criminal case, and CC1 informed him that the case had been taken care of and nobody would bother him again. At the direction of CC1, this individual, Nikhil Gupta, contacted an individual whom Gupta believed to be a criminal associate, but was in fact a confidential source working with the US law enforcement agencies. He is being now referred to as CS. So CS then introduced Gupta and to a purported hitman who was in fact an undercover US law enforcement officer and referred to as UC in the document. Now, after the deals were brokered, CC1 then agreed to pay $100,000 to murder the man. And even the document mentions that the Indian government employee referred to as CC1 directed the plot to assassinate Pannun on US soil. The timeline mentions that on the 18th of June, CC1 sent Gupta a clip of Nijjar soon after his murder. On the 20th of June, CC1 told Gupta that killing Pannun is now a priority. Now, while India has assured a high-level probe, Canada has now waded in, with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau saying that India should take up the matter seriously, and this is the stand that they were actually taken against India.
The news coming out of the United States on India. From the month of August onwards, we have been working closely with our American counterparts, with partners around the world, on the very serious allegations that we shared in September that we believe India was involved, agents of the government of India were involved in the killing of a Canadian citizen on Canadian soil. The news coming out of the United States further underscores what we've been talking about from the very beginning, which is that India needs to take this seriously. The Indian government needs to work with us to ensure that we're getting to the bottom of this.
Meanwhile, a response that is also coming from the Ministry of External Affairs, we'll play that out because they have been saying that they are taking all of those charges that have been leveled very seriously.
As regards the legal case which you are basing, we have said that the individual filed in a US court. It is allegedly linking that person with an Indian official. That is a matter of concern. We have said, and as I said, that is not government policy, and there's a high-level inquiry. And we've also talked about the, as you mentioned, nexus between organized crime, drug trafficking, gun running, and extremists, and that's something that needs to be investigated. I think this high-level committee is precisely constituted for that, looking at all aspects, and let's wait for its results, and we'll take it forward.